you and I saw and really thought a lot of the promo that Hook did on the street prior to last week's title shot against Samoa Joe. And you broke it down on Strictly Business. I'll give you a chance to talk about what you liked here, but I knew just from the way it was shot and presented, hey, Giancarlo, who is one of the secret sauce guys of all of wrestling as far as video presentation, got together with Hook, who already at a young age understands how to present himself different than. I mean, the Hook presentation, from the lighting to the theme song to the trunks he wears, like, I know he's still green. I know he's still learning stuff. I know he's still young, but he's figured out presentation. And you were really complimentary of that promo. And so when people are quick to say, oh, Eric hates everything AEW, that's not the case. That's not the case at all, because not only did you like the promo, you quote tweeted it and told everybody how much you liked it, right?
Well, not only did I tell them how much I liked it, and by the way, I saw that vignette posted on my social media early in the morning. I'd been up for a couple hours, but it was like probably before 8:30 or 9 o'clock in the morning. And I immediately put it over. And then I explained why I put it over.
Yes.
Right. So unlike the previous post where the guy's just slinging mud and doesn't tell us why he feels the way he feels, I explained in detail, and I don't know if Mr. Silva has that and he could pull it up again, but I broke it down as to why I liked it as much as I liked it. And I think, and I'm going off memory here, but I think the tweet was, my post was, there for the grace of God go I, in quotes.
Yeah.
Meaning, and I explained why I referenced that, because what Hook did, in my opinion, created an aspirational character, meaning Hook didn't go out there and say, oh, Joe, I'm going to kick your ass. You may be bigger than me, blah, 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 blah. He didn't denigrate his opponent. He went into that promo with the mindset. This is how I felt. I don't know what he was really thinking. I wasn't there. But this is the feeling, and that's what we're doing these things for. We're trying to create emotion, folks. That's entertainment.
Yes.
Knuckleheads. So what that did is, Hook went out there basically knowing he's going to get his ass kicked. He didn't care. He had enough confidence in himself. He was coming to the ring. He's going to face these insurmountable odds because he believes in himself. That's a quality. And I broke that down. I did it better on my tweet, I think. But
well, here's what you wrote. There for the grace of God I go. Hook in his promo is facing seemingly insurmountable odds, but he knows it. He doesn't care. He believes in himself. Something most want to think about themselves. It makes his character aspirational. I dig it.
There you go. Now, that was my honest feeling at that point. The show hadn't even aired yet. And by the way, I did watch the show, or large portions of it. But I that's all I saw. But I was so impressed with what Giancarlo did. Now, I didn't even know it was Giancarlo when I saw it. I found that out afterward. But I was so impressed with it because if you want to make a baby face, make an aspirational character.
Yeah.
If you want to create a character that's relatable to the audience, give that character qualities and attributes that people like to believe about themselves or wish they had. That's a baby face. That's the magic.
Yeah.
And I was so impressed with that. And my fear, and I didn't even post it because I posted that. I broke it down. Here's why I like it. There for the grace of God go I, aspirational character. I boom, hit post. And I thought, oh man, I hope this match is consistent with the character that I just saw.
Yes.
Because if he comes out there and he starts flying around and doing jungle gym shit and, whatever, the more prevalent formula in today's wrestling environment, I'm going to be very disappointed.
He didn't do that.
And I wasn't disappointed.
No.
The story in the match was a reflection of the attitude and the perspective of the character. I loved it. I thought it was great. And I think that's exactly as Tony is looking down the barrel of a renewal, right? That's the kind of thing. And I said this on social media, not to be a critic, not to be a hater, to point out that Tony should lean into that, whatever it took to get to that vignette and that match. Isolate the people involved. Make them raise their hands in a meeting. Who is involved in the Hook promo? Everybody involved. From Hook on down, raise your hand. Okay, you guys go over here. All right, who was involved in laying out that match? Hook, Joe, given, but who else is there an agent involved? Did anybody else have input into that match? Raise your hand. You two people? All right, you go over there with these guys. These guys are now my head writers.
Right.
Get Giancarlo in there, because anybody that understands the storytelling of a 2-minute promo or whatever that was also understands the story and storytelling technique that needs to be applied to the television show. Get Giancarlo over there with those guys and listen to them. Maybe not give them the whole show because they might not have experience, nor might they even want it. But listen to people like that. Listen to those people. Allow yourself to be influenced, much like I was by Tom Beers, because they're better at it than you are, Tony. Tom Beers was better at it than I was.
Right.
Learn from those people. Surround yourself with those people. Give them money. Buy them pizza. Do whatever the fuck you have to do to keep those people on your team and influencing your show, because replicating that formula, expanding on that formula, so that half the show is dream matches and the other half is actually story driven in a real sense of the word, not a Dave Meltzer sense of the word story, but in a real disciplined, structured storytelling way. Let those people have at least half your show. And that might be the right balance.
So who's the pressure on tomorrow? I mean, is there really anything that I have to lose? And also, I'm not big enough to compete with Samoa Joe. Hey, but I am getting some calories right now, so who knows? Then again, who the am I anyway? 24 hours, Joe. I'm coming for that world title.
What I really enjoyed about the promo was the inside baseball reference that if you knew, you knew. We weren't hitting you over the head with it. But of course, as everyone recalls from the week prior, your interaction with Tony Khan led to criticism about Tony Khan calling out the backlash, if you will, or the upheaval about Hook getting a title shot when Jinder had. And then Jinder got involved and said, "What TF is a Hook?" Or who TF is the Hook? That's what it is. Who TF is the Hook? Well, he managed to work it in there. Who the fuck am I anyway? In the promo. Nice little callback. It felt very ECW. And what I mean with that, Eric, is a lot of times my favorite part of the old ECW TV program were produced like this, outside on a street. It felt very guerrilla style, not very scripted, very gritty. It had that vibe to me. I just think Hook's presentation has been really cool because it's been different. And I love that video, and I love that you put it over. And I find it interesting that there's so much negative criticism about you being vocal about the parts of AEW that you're not a fan of, but there are parts that you do like, and it's right there for everyone to see. They just choose not to, but you actually chose to tune into the match. And I'm curious what you thought, because Samoa Joe at this point is at the top of his game. He's been a world champ in TNA and been a world champ in Ring of Honor. And now he's a world champ here for AEW. And I felt like it was a fantastic performance by both guys. There's an old cliche in wrestling I've heard a bunch. It's not who goes over, it's who gets over. I felt like we checked all the boxes. What'd you think?
I think Jinder Mahal knows who the fuck Hook is now.
Yes, he does. I think he knew all along. He was having fun. Come on.
Yeah, but that aside, then Hook rubbed his nose in it. How's that?
Yeah, there you go.
I like that. Hook hasn't gotten a lot of exposure.
No.
I don't even know how long he's been around. A couple years?
Yeah.
But there's a lot of talent in AEW that we haven't seen yet or seen much of. So it's easy to just kind of dismiss them. I think that promo, first of all, I think Hook should take Giancarlo out to dinner
I think they're
Every
friends in
Friday
real
night.
life, if I had to guess.
every Friday night for the rest of his life, or at least the rest of his career, because that promo got him over with me for sure. Not that that matters, but I think generally people went, wow, I dig that, right? Got him over. And then Joe, I think Joe did a phenomenal job
Yes.
getting Hook over. Now you've got some, oh, I can't believe he kicked out. They let him kick out of this. Okay, now you're going into the Meltzer rabbit hole. Did the match create emotion?
Yes.
Fuck yeah. Did the crowd enjoy that match because it created emotion? Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Was the match well received on television for the very same reasons? Yeah. So again, are you going to the movie to critique the actor's performance, or are you going to the movie to enjoy the story? I enjoy the story, and I think Joe is such a pro. First of all, he's cool as shit. Have you ever spent any time around Joe?
Just a little bit, not very much.
Dude is so understated cool. Like when you look at Joe, he's a scary fuck to look at. I mean, you see him in person, he's big on television. Stand next to him. Well, not for you, but for me, I'm 5'10", 200 pounds.
Yeah. He's a big
Holy
boy.
shit, he's big.
Yeah.
I'm an average sized person.
Yeah.
He's fucking huge. And when he's not smiling, like he's got a little grin on his face if you're watching with us on YouTube. And if you're not, you're missing the boat. Or if you're not on ad-free shows, watching this live, you're missing the freaking boat, folks. God, I love this carnivore diet. The carnivore diet is awesome too. But Joe is intimidating as fuck. What's cool about Joe is in real life, it's just as chill. You'd think he was like a professional surfer. And he's just got this relaxed, chill vibe to him. Now, you know he could kill you, but damn, he's a cool guy. And I think that I see it reflected in some of his social media stuff. Joe's cool. And I would love nothing more than to see Joe be able to bring us his best work. Let's talk about that. What's best work? I'm not talking about flying around the freaking ring. Let's talk about AJ Styles as an example of best work. Is AJ Styles the athlete physically that he was 10 or 15 years ago? Probably not. Nobody is. Looks better. But in terms of being able to move and fly and do crazy shit, probably not, because that stuff, it's death by 1,000 cuts. It wears you down. But I think AJ Styles is in a position to do his best work ever because he understands character, understands story. He's learned the nuance of bringing the audience into your character or into his character or into his story, which in my opinion makes him a better performer than he was 20 years ago, without respect to any of the physicality. Joe has that same opportunity. I think Joe is better now than he's ever been as a character and as a well-rounded performer. So I'd love nothing better to see Joe go on a long, fast, fun ride.